Hey everybody, I'm Doug. Welcome to Plastic Adventures podcast, toy review thing. And today we're going to be doing a plastic bits. We're going to be talking about the Empire Strikes Back snap together action scene Rebel base. This has been on my want list for over 30 years. I've seen it first in a comic book. You would see these ads in the middle of comic books or on the back pages, and it would show all of the new MPC model kits. And this was the one I think that got me interested in trying to do dioramas. But I could never get this kit back in the day. And luckily, a few days ago, I ran across it in one of our local curiosity shops, I guess you'd call it. And decided, why not? Let's get it, and then let's put it together. So this one is it's a snap. Supposed to be snap together. We'll see if that's actually true or not. And it is of the Rebel base. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi Commemorative Edition. I don't know if there was multiple versions of this, but this is the one that I remember seeing. And we're going to open it up. I feel like I'm committing something sacrilegious here. By the way, my son Lincoln is behind the camera, and my dog Buster might jump in frame every once in a while. So just disregard them, or don't. Say hi. Okay, here we go. This has not been opened, and I'm gonna do it. I feel like a doctor, like he's never done surgery before. But here he goes. Oh man. All right, I'm going to open that plastic, and I'm going to save that sticker. So we're going to put that out of the way. Off-screen hand, we'll grab that. Okay, so the box is slightly damaged. It's bent, but it otherwise was completely sealed and still good for display. Here it goes. Oh wow. All right. So first off, we see the bag of bits, which has, when we'll open it, we'll see more of it, but it's got the Millennium Falcon, which is a pretty good size. Like that with my hand, it's pretty hand-sized. And then the Rebel transport on the other side, which is also pretty good size. I can see in there already we got R2-D2 and C-3PO, Chewbacca, and I think there's a Darth Vader in there. So, and then it comes with subscribe to the Blueprinter. I think we may be a little out of date for that one. But here is the preformed Rebel base. You can see it's got the different bays for the starships. This is the headquarters portion of it, and the transport and the Millennium Falcon and all the little bits and bobs will sit on that. So this is the action tray. We've got the Lucasfilm fan club. Join the Nintendo fan club today. No, I don't think that this is also still good. Everything's online these days. And the instructions. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so now that we've got it out of the box and we've gone through the ooh and ah of opening a 30-year-old toy, we can get a closer look at some of the parts. So we saw this a little earlier. This is the actual preformed Rebel base. It's actually it's pretty flimsy, but it's got a lot of detail. So you can see the snow, you can see the tracks from some of the other vehicles. And some of the ones I've seen online have actually colored this up really well, made it dirty snow, and I don't know where I'm going to be with that, but right now we're just going to take the pieces out and see how well they fit together, and maybe at a later date, maybe I'll go ahead and paint this guy up. But we'll move this out of the way for now so we can get a better look at some of the pieces. Oh, wrong tool. Okay. Pull that up and pull them out. So that not only does it come with the vehicles, but it also comes with a whole bunch of the little figures. And those guys are super tiny. Super, super tiny. So I may leave some of those on the trees. But for now, let's just get everybody out. So you can see it. I think the first one we're going to do is probably the obvious one, right? We're going to do the Millennium Falcon first. So there we are. That's all of the pieces on the trees. Let's see what it comes with. It comes with 3 Y-wings, which look really odd. I don't know if you guys can see the detail on that or not. But the Y-wings don't look like Y-wings. They look, I don't know what they look like, but they're kind of Y-wings. There's 3 of those. It looks like there are 3 X-wings and 4 snow speeders and a bunch of parts. So we're going to figure out where those parts go. And this is the tree I was talking about that has all of the little guys on it. So, and on this one, you can see little figures there and the detail on the Rubble transport, which is actually pretty cool. All right, so let's follow the directions and we'll get into the Millennium Falcon. All right, so we decided to build the Millennium Falcon first. It doesn't look like you have to build it in any specific order because they each have their own little instructions and they're not too difficult. It looks like each ship has at least 2 pieces, a top and a bottom. The Millennium Falcon has 4 pieces, the top, the bottom, the laser gun, and the radar scanner. And the Rubble transport has quite a few pieces. It has the upper and lower parts, it has the upper and lower part for the bridge, and it has 3 thrusters that all go on. So that one will be pretty exciting to put together. Well, let's do the Millennium Falcon first. Here it is again, the top and the bottom, and the radar dish and the gun are on the tree for the Rubble transport. So we'll cut those off when we're ready for those. And where's my knife? We should be able to do a clean break on some of these. There it goes. Okay. And then we'll take our knife and kind of get those nice and smooth. There we go. And where's the other one? Right there. All right. So there's the top. And coming over to the bottom. And there we are. Okay, so for the top and the bottom, they just go in to the 3 little holes. So there's these 3 pegs, 1, 2, 3, and they just go into the 1, 2, 3 holes. So we line those up and push them in. Where's the other one? Right there. Oh, there it goes. Oh, hey, they say snap tight, and they're not joking. That thing actually does snap together pretty good. So that's the Falcon as it is. The little pegs come through the bottom, which allow it to sit off of the ground. So we'll get into the radar scanner. little bits. And the laser gun, which came off nice and clean. Okay. Laser gun just snaps into the gun turret area. You don't want to break them because this plastic is still old and not very thick in places. So you want to be very careful, but the gun just goes right in, sits right there. And then the radar turret. And there we go, folks. The Millennium Falcon. And then, let's see how it is in scale with the Rubble base. So I'm gonna set that there. And there we go. Not bad, actually, for back in the day. This is a pretty highly detailed model kit, actually. As a kid, I would have been jazzed to have this size of a Millennium Falcon to fly around. So this is actually a really good size, really good detail. And then, you know, I'm thinking that the Rebel transport will probably be about that long, sitting right next to it. So we can get into that one. All right, we're on to the Rebel transport. So let's see if I can get a closer look on some of these. You can see the top portion of it with all of its ridges, but it's the bottom portion that actually looks pretty cool. So one of the things that you don't really see up close is that these are containers. These are all storage boxes, and this thing is filled with them. So in the movie, for size, this thing is ginormous. It's really large, and it's carrying all of their equipment. So, and there's multiple ones of these in the movie. So let's put it together. And it looks like you just put the top and the bottom halves together without anything in the middle. And what? I'm talking to my off-screen camera guy.
You gotta put the engines on first, I think.
No, the engines are underneath.
Well, I can't see from behind the camera.
Okay, that's okay. All right, so we just snap tight, like the title says. Squeeze those in, and it does look like there is a bit of a gap on the bottom. Does it go over or under? It looks like it goes like that. And then these go in there. So that's how it snaps tight. So you can see from a side perspective how kind of thin it is. Does it look? So it just goes into the 3 pegs. What if we pop those out? Oh, actually, you know what? That looks better. That's how it's supposed to be. So we're going to pop those back out and there's supposed to be spacers. I get it now. Okay, that looks really good. So there we go there. We'll put him down. And the bridge goes, I see. The pegs are big enough to hold both of them. So you hopefully don't break the pegs as you're putting them on. Can you see that? And then the pegs will stick out through the top, and those should be what the top portion of the bridge sticks into. So does that. So in the Kenner version of the Rebel transport, this thing is in the middle, and it's what holds the 2 halves together for people who've not seen one. So for the original model, or for the original vehicle design, the bridge is all the way in the back near the engines. And speaking of which, that's what we're going to put on next. So it comes with these 3 engine thrusters, and it looks like there's a bottom tab, and they should just plug right into it. Well, that looks kind of downward. What happens if we... Oh, that looks way wrong. Yeah, we can't do that. Okay, so it looks like they do point slightly downward. That is interesting. Or are they different? Ah, they might be slightly different for the middle. And no, they all do kind of do that slightly downward pointing because they're at an angle, and the tab, the way it fits in, just kind of does that naturally. So yeah, there we go. Can you, if everybody can see that? But that completes the Rebel transport. So let's put him on the base and see what they look like all together. Base, Millennium Falcon, and then the Rebel transport for size comparison. Actually, in the movies, I always thought that the Rebel transport was slightly larger than this. So this is I'm not sure if this is to scale. I don't think this is a one-to-one scale, but it's still pretty cool to have. So those are the ships together. And actually, I think if we go by like the movie screen reference, these would actually be bigger and off to the side in some other hangar. The Millennium Falcon would be here, and these bays would actually be lining on both sides, and the doors would be here, and that's what they would be coming. And there'd be lights on the ground. And so this isn't an exact replica of Echo Base hangar, but for what it is, it's pretty cool. All right, so next we'll get into the little spaceships. I thought we'd start with the weird bulbous Y-wings, which Lincoln and I have discussed off camera that these are not Y-wings, they are actually T-wings. They are the stepbrothers before the Y-wings, the weird ones. So these are two halves, and they all have that three-pronged landing gear thing like we saw on the Millennium Falcon with the three holes that match up. So these should be just as easy to assemble as the Millennium Falcon. But I think the holes are slightly smaller. There we go. Oh, you really gotta fight to get those in. Oh, that's good though. That means they'll stay together. So you squeeze them as tight as you can get, so that way there's no gap. And that's all it takes to put the Y/T wing together. So we'll do the other two without breaking the 30-year-old plastic. There we go. All right. Kind of squeeze them together, put them there, and there are the three Y/T wings. And they do come on those trees, so make sure you clear those tabs really good so you don't have that weird plastic hanging off. All right, and so we'll go into the X-wings next, and then we'll do the snow speeders, and then we'll put them all together and we'll see what they all look like at the very end. All right, we're on to the X-wings, which we'll show a little bit of detail about these guys. So as you can see, this is just the upper half of the X-Wing. There is no X in this X-Wing. There is no bottom wing. It is just the top wing, and that's to give them the look like they are in a parked position or flying not in attack position. So we just have the top and the bottom. Looks like there's just 2 pegs and 2 holes, and if they're just like the other ones, should just snap right together. So we line up those holes, don't break the plastic, snap tight, and there we are. 1 X-Wing. So we'll move on to his brother. Some of them we gotta squeeze pretty darn good. But once they're together, they appear to be together pretty good. And those are, so the only one that has the weird kind of design is those Y/T-wing ships. They don't seem to have as much or the correct detail that the X-Wings, the Millennium Falcon, or the Rebel transport have. So we're going to hypothesize that maybe they're a different ship altogether. They're not Y-Wings. Okay, you got to be very careful. These guys are very thin, so any accidental bump, you're going to pop those guys right off. You're going to bend them. But there's your squadron of X-Wings. Those should fit in the landing bays just fine. And so we'll go on to the snow speeders next, and then put them all in the base and show you what it looks like. Okay, the last ship to put together before all of them are complete to make up the base is the snow speeder. So the snow speeder has a top and a bottom half and 2 pegs. So it should be just a simple snap and squeeze, and yeah, there you have it. There's your snow speeder. Nothing spectacular, but still very cool. And I was thinking as I was pulling these off of the trees that they are very close in size to the Star Wars Micro Machines. So if you have a bunch of Star Wars Micro Machines laying around, if you have a couple of snow speeders or some of the X-Wings or Y-Wings, they are very close in size, so you may be able to supplement your hangar with a couple of those. And I might get some of those out and do a comparison of those real quick. But there you go. There's your 4 Rubble snow speeders. Now let's put them on the base. See what they look like. All right, base as we saw before. We're going to start with the weird YT wings. So size comparison, size to the Millennium Falcon, size to the Rebel transport. And we're going to put these guys off in the back. So we're going to put them in their little bays here. Put that one there. And put that one there. And there you go. That's what those guys look like. And then we're going to put some X-Wings in their bays. Oh, they're a tight fit, bud. Look at that. Maybe the X-Wings are supposed to go in different spots. Ah, so they are not a mix and match. So let's see. So this X-Wing. Oh yeah, they're wider bays in the back. Okay, so then we'll do this. And then on the box and in most of the art, it shows one of these guys in the bay. And then these kind of guys just kind of strewn about a little bit, kind of facing different directions or whatnot. And aside from a few small things, like there's a bridge, a crane, and of course the little people, this is pretty much the majority of the set. So the bridge or the little people can go up in here. There's some computer parts. We'll take those apart and I'll show you what those look like. And that's the diorama. Man, I waited 30 years to see this up close. And yeah, it's every bit as cool as I thought it would be. All right, so let's go on to the next one, and we'll build some, put some bridge some headquarter components together, and then we'll go from there. All right, so now we're on to the home stretch for this diorama, and we've got the little parts to go. So this is the central control panel. It's actually got a lot of detail on there, which is actually pretty cool. Would look good. Can you see? Can you see? Are we good? Yeah, as good as you guys can get. But that's going to go along the back. And then the second control communication panel, which, I don't know, is that a good spot? That's going to go along the back. And then we've got the fuel pods, which, you know, you just put them in some random places along the, do that, do that. Okay, maybe it's fueling both of them, or, okay, and these are called, what were these? Oh, they kind of go next to the ships. They're like little readout things, but they don't appear to be standing up very well. Where's my little knife? Where's my knifey? Okay. It's all right. That one was an easy fix. Gotta make sure that the little plastic overrun on the bottoms is nice and flat. So you got these little computer screens on the inside. I don't know if I can. It's actually pretty cool. Like little traveling, status machines, little status readouts. Put that one in the back there. All right, so then the next is building up the bridge. And this is just a piece like that. It's got two little tabs on the end, two little holes, and snap that together, but you got to be careful, because you can break this stuff very, very easily. Here we go. Might have to do a little bit of scraping on those, because it looks like there's some plastic overlap. Not too much. Not too much. And I don't want to snap the guardrails. Putting too much pressure on them. This is what I was talking about, where we have to see if these things actually snap tight. And this is one of the first ones where it's like, this one might require a little bit of glue to keep it together. Let's see if this one will snap in a little better. And so I'm assuming that this part in universe lore is to get over the ship so you can do maintenance, or maybe drop a astromech droid or something in it. But there you go. So there's the hangar bridge thing. Okay, next we have, looks like these cranes. So you have two sides to the cranes. Also, two holes and two small pegs. So again, I'm not sure if these pegs or holes are going to be strong enough to keep this as a snap together, but we'll see. Yeah, see, those don't snap very well. So again, these little guys, probably gonna need some glue. Hopefully they'll stay together long enough to show what they are in size. Okay, there we go. Put that over here. Oh, it's already starting to come apart. Yeah, these guys do not snap very well, so you got to put them in a spot where they'll stay together. Come on, hear me, baby, stay together. Okay, there we go. That's all of the parts. That's the Rubble base. I think we'll do R2-D2 and C-3PO and Princess Leia for size comparison. So here is little R2-D2, and he is like, he's tiny. So shave off some of the plastic tabs. And again, Micro Machines also came out with figures that are relatively close to this size. So if you have some of those figures, those probably might be the better ones to use if you're going to put them on display. But let's put our little astromech guy right there. And you can see, if I can put it on screen, their arms are very, very thin compared to the trees. So be very careful. That was a very quiet sneeze. All right, come on. Don't break C-3PO's arm. You can do it. You can do it. Actually, I've got a very cool tool that'll allow me to fix that. It's called scissors. So we will clip and C-3PO. Very tiny C-3PO. There we go. Princess Leia. Unfortunately, there's no Han Solo for her to argue in the hallway with, so we'll just have to imagine that. But there is a Wookiee for her to kiss, so. Oh man, I just lost Leia. I lost Leia. Leia, come back. All right, well, my off-screen counterpart will try to find her, and we will get Chewbacca. Oh, there's my other off-screen counterpart. All right, we'll come back. All right, so after that little technical difficulty, malfunction from my dog Buster, we were able to find Princess Leia, and she is really, really small. But I did take that opportunity to grab some of the Micro Machines I was talking about, so we can do a little size comparison for those. So the Micro Machines are just slightly larger. I don't know if you guys can see that, but same detail. So you can probably slide one of those in there. That looks pretty good. Micro Machines also had some X-Wings, which are actually very close in the same size. So you can slide one of those in there and it'll still look pretty close. And then here's what the Y-Wing should look like compared to I don't know what this one is. Not a Y-Wing. And then this one can go in there. And that's what it's kind of supposed to look like. So the Micro Machines do fit if they're of the same size. Obviously, this is not the same size as this. So, I mean, that's... And then I got the littler Rubble transport to show you. So not all sizes are equal. All right, but I did also grab some of the little guys to show you the difference in scale. So maybe you might decide to use one of those. So if we use Micro Machines C-3PO, it actually kind of does fit a little bit. Tauntaun Han Solo, though, however, does not. Their Tauntauns are not that big in real life. Well, in real life, in comparison. But okay, so we can take those guys off, and we can put our real model kit back. And then put our Wookiee and our princess. Which way is she facing? What? Right there. Put C-3PO back in his spot. All right, and there we go. I think other than the rest of the Rebel soldiers that are supposed to be scattered throughout the diorama, this makes it complete. So maybe one of these days here soon, I'll get some of my paints out and I'll try to rugged this up and make it a little bit more realistic. But for right now, this is what comes in the box. When you put it together, this is what it looks like. So 30 plus years waiting to put this guy together, and actually it was every bit as fun as I thought it would be. So if you guys are out looking for one, I highly recommend it if you can find it. They are a little pricier these days. When they were first out, they were around 12 bucks. And so now these are 60 plus to $100 each. So if you're going to find one, find a good one. Hopefully you'll find as good a condition as mine so you can get that full brand new out of the box feel that I got today. So like our channel, subscribe to our channel. We're a Plastic Adventures podcast. We try to do a podcast every once in a while. We share news, we share toy reviews, and we do a little bit of discussing of toy brands, back in the day. So please like and subscribe our channel, and we'll see you around the web.